is Ashi Mancilia, your reporter for today. My report for today is all about where typhoons develop. As we know, most of the typhoons form in a region in the Northeast Pacific known as Typhoon Alley, where the planet's most powerful tropical cyclones most frequently develop. When the tropical ridge shift due El Nino, so preferred tropical cyclones track. What is tropical cyclone? A tropical cyclone is a rapidly rotating storm system characterized by a low-pressure center, a close low-level atmospheric circulation, strong wind, and a spiral arrangement of thunderstorm that produce rain and squall. Where tropical cyclones form? Tropical cyclones are formed over the ocean in a tropical region. They develop at the latitude between 5 degree and 22 degree north latitudes. They are the stronger, well located over the warm tropical water. They weaken as soon they make a landfall, where they cause great destruction to affect areas. One of the tropical region is the Philippines. Philippines is prone to tropical cyclone due to its geographic location. The whole archipelago lies between 4 degree and 22 degree north latitude and between 116 degree and 127 degree east longitude. Most of the world's typhoons develop over the western and North Pacific Ocean, while according to the meteorologists, the country is located in the warm pool together with Indonesia. This warm pool has the warmest ocean temperature in the whole world. Because of the shallowness of the seas, especially around a large part of Indonesia and north of Australia and their associated very warm temperatures, this area have been called the Indo-Pacific Warm Pole, or IPWP. This region is quite extensive as it covers a surface area equivalent to that of the entire USA. Once again, I'm Princess Mancilia, your reporter about where typhoons develop.
I am reporter Marieli Chelsea Asuncion. The Philippines is hit by an average of 20 typhoons every year. Similar to hurricane, a typhoon super-fast wind speeds cause huge amount of damage, while the storm surge they create flood coastal areas. While a typhoon stays over the ocean water, so once a typhoon makes a landfall, it may cause a devastation and destruction of properties and may even result in casualties. Typhoon hazard may include a storm surge, strong winds, extreme rainfall, microtornadoes, or landslide. A storm surge is a large ocean wave brought about by the swelling of the ocean water due to the low-pressure center of tropical cyclone. A storm surge caused the flooding of the coastal areas of Tacloban and Samar and nearby provinces when Super Typhoon Yolanda made a landfall on November 8, 2013. As you can see in the picture, storm surge can cause tsunami. According to Volker Rover and Jeremy D. Bricker, massive storm system can be the cause of devastating tsunami-type waves. It happened during Typhoon Haiyan, which struck the Philippines in November 2013. Typhoon Haiyan was one of the strongest typhoon ever recorded, causing more than 6,000 casualties. Strong winds of powerful typhoons of more than 185 km per hour are known to be destructive since they are capable of destroying even concrete homes and buildings. In November 29, 2006, typhoon remained with winds of 320 km per hour brought great destruction to Legazpi City and the rest of Albay when the eye wall of the typhoon passed over these areas. Extreme rainfall can result in inland flooding in low-lying areas or in areas with poor drainage and saturated soil. It can also cause the overflowing of river systems. On September 26, 2009, Typhoon Nondoy poured a tremendous amount of rainfall in one day, which was equal to more than average amount of rainfall within a month. Massive flooding was experienced in Metro Manila and nearby towns and provinces. It caused the Pasig and Marikina rivers as well as Laguna de Bay to overflow. Landslide and mudslide are common along steep slopes of mountains and volcanoes. 1 billion cubic tons of water can fall on mountain slopes, saturating the soil and loosening the rocks. 3 logs are carried down the slope with mud and rocks. The cities of Cagayan de Oro and Iligan were the worst hit of Typhoon Sendong on December 16, 2011. The mountainside was stripped off and left bare, and as the mudslide moved down the slope, it ravaged all the structures along its way. Microtornadoes are formed within the eye of a tropical cyclone. If a typhoon has a wind speed of about 240 kilometers per hour, the microtornadoes can increase into 440 to 600 kilometers per hour. The microtornadoes are capable of uprooting trees, sucking weak structures, and carrying them a few meters from the ground. It was reported that tornadoes were observed in the towns of Manglanila and Talisay in Cebu on June 18, 2013, and in San Pablo, Zamboanga del Sur on May 29, 2013.
Hi, I'm Carla Osario, and now I am going to report to you what does public storm warning signals mean. First off, let me introduce to you to PAG-ASA. PAG-ASA, or Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. For you to know, PAG-ASA is an agency that monitors all the weather conditions here in the Philippines. This agency is responsible for gathering, analyzing, and interpreting data from different weather stations. It has the responsibility of issuing public storms when signal storms are raised, what can be the effects to the areas that are covered by the storm, and the precautions to be done when the disaster hits the locality. Plus, understanding public warning signals can help people prevent from casualties and help the prevention from the damage of the properties. Now I am going to discuss to you what are the different public storm signals. I am also going to tell you what are their atmospheric conditions, what can be their effects, and I'm also going to tell you the safety measures when this kind of disaster happens. First off, here's the signal number 1. The atmospheric conditions when the signal is number 1 is first, a tropical storm is expected and the winds are 30 up to 60 kilometers per hour, or intermittent rain may be expected in at least 36 hours. The effects of signal number 1 are the following. First, branches of small trees may break. Some banana plants may bend or fall. Nipa houses will be blown by the strong wind. Only very light or no damage at all to affected areas. And rice crops in flowering level will be definitely affected. These are the safety measures you should do and expect in signal number 1. When the tropical storm intensifies, the signal may be raised to the next level. Waves on coastal areas may gradually develop and swell. And people are advised to listen to weather updates issued by PAG-ASA in every 6 hours. And disaster preparedness is activated to alert status. Next is the signal number 2. As you can see, signal number 2 is much more destructive than signal number 1. In signal number 2, a tropical storm may affect the area and the winds are greater than 60 to 120 km per hour. In this signal, you should expect that a few big trees can be uprooted. Many banana plants will fall. Why? Because banana tree isn't that strong enough to hold such a heavy wind. Some coconut trees may tilt or break. Coconut trees are strong, that's why it's not that easily to be flown away by the wind. Rice crops may be completely affected and damaged. Nipa houses will be completely blown by such strong winds. And winds may bring light moderate damage to exposed communities. That's how destructive signal number 2 is. And the safety measures you should do and expect in signal number 2 are the following. First, sea and coastal waters are dangerous to light sea crafts such as boats. Traveling by sea is advised to postpone because of big waves. Children must stay indoor for safety. Secure properties before the signal is upgraded. And lastly, be updated for the following news because agencies like Pag-asa are in action to alert the communities. Here comes the signal number 3. In this signal, it is getting more destructive and harder, and even heavier. In this signal, a tropical storm will affect an area, and the winds may be expected for more than 120 to 170 km per hour. In signal number 3, there are much more destructive things that could possibly happen, such as many trees will be uprooted. Light to medium structures may be damaged. Loss of electricity and communication may be widespread. Agricultural and industrial sectors will be completely damaged. For safety measures, air and water travels are cancelled. People are advised to evacuate, especially to those people living at low-lying areas, living at near coast and near riverbanks. Seek shelter in higher places and strong buildings immediately. Watch out for the passage of the typhoon that brings very strong winds. All classes are suspended and children must stay in safe shelters. Now in signal number 4, if signal number 3 is destructive and heavy, then expect signal number 4 to be much more heavier and destructive. And it can be more dangerous to people because in this signal, a very intense typhoon will affect the area and a very strong wind may be expected in at least 12 hours. In this signal, coconut plantations will be severely damaged. Many big and tall trees will be uprooted. Agricultural sectors will be destroyed. Electrical power and communication lines will be cut off because of so hard winds and rain. Damage to affected areas will be big. In this situation, it is really going to be destructive for the community. All outdoor activities are cancelled. The area is likely to be hit by the eye of the typhoon, so better be more prepared and alert. As the eye of the typhoon approaches, the weather worsens. Now is the signal number 5. Signal number 5 is the most dangerous, destructive, and heavy signal of all. This signal, a super typhoon will affect the area and very strong winds of more than 220 kilometers per hour. Because of very strong wind, it is expected to bring heavy damage in affected areas, and storm surge of more than 3 meters is possible in coastal areas. So better evacuate quickly to higher places to be more safe. All travels and outside activities will be cancelled. Better evacuate to safer shelters. Expect for a violent weather with winds when the eye of the typhoon is coming. We cannot avoid this kind of natural disasters. So when this disaster happens, always remember the safety procedures that I discussed to you earlier. The next reporter will discuss to you what rainfall warning alert system is all about. This has been Kyla Osario. Thank you for listening.
What is rainfall warning alert system? Well, rainfall warning alert system is an advisory for the communities to be aware of the weather condition and to be warned that flooding might be possible in low-lying areas. Pag-asa are the ones that are preparing the rainfall alert system to alert the affected residents for the effects of heavy rainfall that usually comes with weather disturbance. The alert warning system is actually color-coded. Each of the color indicates the amount of rainfall that will pour for the next 3 hours in the area specified by Pag-asa. There are 3 colors, yellow, orange, and red. When the alert system is yellow, the expected rainfall amount is between 7.5 millimeters to 15 millimeters within an hour and likely to continue in the next 2 hours. Yellow sign may affect flooding in low-lying areas and areas that are near riverbanks. For safety measures, you need to monitor the weather. Condition and wait for the next Pag-asa weather advisory. When the sign is orange, the intense rain is to 30 millimeters is observed in 1 hour and expected to continue for the next 2 hours. It may affect a threatening flooding to low-lying areas and areas near riverbanks. That means orange sign is less heavy than yellow signal. For safety measures, you need to be prepared. Flashlights or lamps for possible loss of electricity, have enough emergency supplies, charge of electronics, water, batteries, and fill up your car. When you have no car, you call emergency hotline for immediate resave. When the signal is red, the rain will be more than 30 millimeters in 1 hour and expected to continue in the next 2 hours. The sign is much more heavy and already dangerous. You must expect severe flooding. In this kind of situation, you must evacuate already for your safety. If your standard call for emergency hotlines, ask for help and pray for your safety. Those are the different types of warning alert system. I hope you all have learned something from our report. Thank you for listening. Again, I'm Jasper Ted.